All right, buckle up, everyone. Get ready for a deep dive into some seriously extreme skiing.
Yeah.
The kind that takes us way off the beaten path
Exactly.
to some of the most remote and stunning ski destinations around the world.
Yeah, think untouched powder.
Epic descents and scenery that'll blow your mind.
It's all about those breathtaking landscapes, far from the crowds.
We're talking about the ultimate adventure for those who crave a little more wild in their winter wonderland.
A little more wild, for sure. You know, it's interesting. There's this huge surge in adventure travel.
Yeah.
And it makes sense when you combine that with the thrill of skiing.
Right.
You get something truly special.
Absolutely. It's about pushing the boundaries of what a ski trip can be.
Totally.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, our first stop takes us all the way to the Himalayas.
Oh.
But here's the twist.
Yeah.
In India.
In India.
Yep, you heard that right. Gulmarg.
I never would have thought.
Who would have thought you could find world-class skiing in India?
It's surprising, isn't it? But Gulmarg is the real deal. We're talking about some of the highest lift access terrain in the world.
No way.
Yeah, and a gondola that takes you up to nearly 4,000 meters.
Wow, that's incredible.
And the snow.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's what powder hounds dream of.
Oh, I bet.
Deep, dry, and just begging to be carved up.
That sounds amazing. But I imagine it's not just about the skiing.
You're right about that.
What about the cultural experience in Gulmarg?
You hit the nail on the head. Picture this. You spend the morning skiing, surrounded by the Himalayas.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon, you're exploring ancient Buddhist monasteries.
Wow.
Or sipping traditional Kashmiri chai with locals.
That sounds incredible.
It's this incredible blend of adventure and cultural immersion.
It's like stepping into a completely different world.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've conquered the Himalayas.
All right.
Now let's head south to the Andes Mountains
Okay.
in Chile,
All right.
specifically to a place called Portillo.
Portillo. Okay.
But this isn't your typical sprawling ski resort.
What is it then? Think exclusive and traditional.
Okay.
Imagine a single iconic yellow hotel
Okay.
right on the shores of a stunning glacial lake,
Wow.
surrounded by some of the most challenging and legendary slopes in South America.
That sounds amazing.
It's like a ski-in, ski-out experience, but taken to a whole other level.
Yeah.
You're basically living and breathing skiing 24/7.
Exactly. And that creates a unique camaraderie.
Oh, how so?
Well, you're dining with the same people you're sharing the slopes with,
Uh-huh.
swapping stories and forming bonds over this shared love of skiing.
I bet.
It's intimate, it's intense, and it's definitely not for everyone.
I can see how that could be a little too much togetherness for some.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're looking for that immersive experience where skiing is the heart of everything,
Yeah.
Portillo might just be your dream come true.
I can see that.
Okay, you ready for a change of scenery?
I am, yeah.
Let's venture north, way north, to Svalbard, Norway.
To Svalbard.
Now, this is where things get seriously adventurous.
Okay, how so? Well, Svalbard is as remote as it gets.
Oh, wow.
It's an archipelago between mainland Norway and the North Pole.
Wow.
Forget chairlifts and gondolas.
Yeah.
Here you're exploring glaciers and mountains on
Snowmobiles.
and even dog sleds.
Dog sleds. Seriously?
Now that's what I call an epic way to access the backcountry.
That's incredible.
But let's be real, this kind of skiing is not for the faint of heart.
You're telling me, what do you need to be prepared?
Well, Svalbard demands a high level of fitness,
Okay.
backcountry experience, and a healthy dose of respect for nature.
I bet.
You're dealing with unpredictable weather,
Yeah.
challenging terrain, and the possibility of encountering polar bears.
The polar bears.
That just took extreme skiing to a whole new level.
You're not kidding.
So we've tackled the Himalayas,
We have.
braved the Andes, and ventured into the Arctic.
Yeah.
Now let's hop over to Kazakhstan,
Kazakhstan.
to a place called Shimbalak.
Shimbolak. Okay.
I have to admit, I don't know much about skiing in Kazakhstan.
Oh.
So fill me in.
Shimbolak is a bit of a hidden gem. It's
Okay.
tucked away in the Tian Shan Mountains,
Okay.
just outside of Almaty,
Uh-huh.
the largest city in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
What's fascinating is the contrast.
What do you mean?
Well, you can be skiing down pristine slopes in the morning
Yeah.
and then exploring a bustling metropolis in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
It's the perfect blend of adventure and urban exploration.
Talk about the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You get those incredible mountains and challenging terrain.
Yeah.
But you also have the convenience of a city nearby.
It's great.
And I bet the après-ski scene is pretty lively, too.
Oh, definitely. You can find some great nightlife in Almaty.
I bet.
But don't underestimate Shimbolak itself.
Really.
There's a growing community of passionate skiers there,
Oh, cool.
and a cozy, welcoming atmosphere that makes you feel right at home.
I love that about exploring these lesser-known ski destinations.
Yeah.
You often find a sense of community that's missing from those mega resorts.
Totally.
A time to trade those snow-capped peaks for something a little different.
Okay, I'm ready.
Next stop, Japan.
Japan. Amazing.
We're headed to Niseko Moiwa on Hokkaido Island,
Niseko Moiwa.
a place known for its legendary powder.
Okay.
Now, while nearby, Niseko United gets all the attention,
Yeah.
Moiwa offers a quieter,
Okay.
more peaceful escape
I like the sound of that.
with incredible tree skiing and that signature Japanese powder.
You had me at Japanese powder.
I know, right?
I've heard stories about this stuff.
Oh, it's supposed to be like skiing on clouds.
Wow. So what else sets Niseko Moiwa apart?
Well, it's the combination of that incredible snow,
Yeah.
the stunning views of Mount Yote,
Okay.
which locals call Izo Fuji
Uh-huh.
because of its resemblance to Mount Fuji,
I see.
and the serene, almost spiritual atmosphere.
Wow.
You really feel a connection to nature there,
I bet.
a sense of tranquility that's hard to find in more developed ski areas.
That sounds wonderful.
It sounds like the perfect place to unplug, recharge, and just reconnect with that simple joy of gliding through fresh powder.
Totally.
Okay, back to South America for our next destination.
All right, where to?
Las Leñas, Argentina.
Las Leñas. I've heard of that.
This one's got a reputation for being a bit of a party town,
It does, yeah.
but Las Leñas definitely has a vibrant après-ski scene.
It does.
But don't let that fool you. The skiing here is world-class,
Oh, I bet.
especially if you love challenging terrain and wide-open bowls.
Okay, so you can push your limits on the slopes and then let loose afterward.
Exactly. Sounds like your kind of place.
It does. It really does.
And the setting is truly spectacular.
What's it like?
You're surrounded by those dramatic peaks of the Andes, with
Yeah.
views that'll take your breath away.
Incredible.
It's a place where you can really feel the raw power and beauty of the mountains.
I can imagine.
All right, one last stop on our whirlwind tour of extreme ski destinations.
Okay, let's hear it.
And this one brings us back to North America.
Where to?
Alyeska. Alaska.
Alyeska.
Alyeska is a true Alaskan gem,
It is.
offering incredible skiing
Uh-huh.
and a glimpse into one of the last truly wild landscapes in North America.
What's it like?
Think soaring peaks,
Okay.
glaciers and forests as far as the eye can see.
That sounds amazing.
It's magical. And I bet the skiing is just as epic as the scenery.
It has to be.
Oh, definitely.
What's the terrain like?
Alyeska boasts some of the steepest and most challenging terrain in North America,
Wow.
with over 1,600 skiable acres and a vertical drop of over 2,500 feet.
That's a lot of skiing.
And because it's located in south central Alaska,
Uh-huh.
the season stretches from November to April.
Oh, wow. A long season.
That's a serious ski season, plenty of time to explore.
That's amazing.
So we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the Himalayas to the Andes,
Yeah.
the Arctic, and beyond.
We've been everywhere.
And if there's one thing that unites all these destinations,
Yeah.
it's that desire for something more. Something beyond the typical ski vacation.
It makes sense.
But I'm curious, what is it about these remote locations that draws us in?
That's a great question, and I think the answer is different for everyone.
Oh, how so?
Well, for some, it's the thrill of the unknown.
Oh,
That challenge of pushing their limits in a new and demanding environment.
I see.
For others, it's that chance to connect with nature on a deeper level,
Aha.
to experience the solitude and tranquility of these pristine landscapes.
Right.
And for many, it's a combination of all those things.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
It's about finding a sense of adventure,
definitely.
pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones,
Absolutely.
and discovering something truly unique and unforgettable.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And in a world that's increasingly connected
Yeah.
and fast-paced,
Yeah.
these remote ski destinations
Yeah.
offer a chance to unplug,
Okay.
recharge, and rediscover what really matters.
Well said.
Thank you. You know, as we've been talking about these amazing places, I keep thinking about why people want to ski in these remote spots.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
Is it the adrenaline?
Maybe.
The desire to escape the everyday?
Possibly.
Or maybe even a deeper connection with nature?
I think it's probably a mix of all those things.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's something so exhilarating about testing your limits in untouched environments.
Right.
It's like the remoteness itself adds another dimension to the whole experience.
Absolutely. It's like you're disconnecting from the world.
Yeah.
Stepping into something wilder, more primal.
I like that.
It's about being immersed in the raw beauty of the mountains,
Uh-huh.
experiencing that solitude that's so hard to find these days.
Yeah, it's special.
But, we can't sugarcoat it.
What do you mean?
These destinations are not your typical ski vacation.
Right.
We're talking about places where you might be hours from the nearest town,
Wow.
dealing with unpredictable weather
Yeah.
and limited infrastructure.
So it's safe to say these trips require a certain level of self-sufficiency
For sure.
and a willingness to embrace the unexpected.
Exactly.
You can't just show up expecting everything to be perfectly groomed and convenient.
No, not at all.
You have to be ready for things to not go as planned,
Definitely.
delays, weather changes, equipment malfunctions.
Yeah,
It's all part of the adventure.
it's all part of it.
And that's where preparation is crucial.
Absolutely.
Speaking of preparation, let's talk safety.
Okay, good idea.
Obviously, skiing in these remote areas comes with risks,
Uh-huh.
avalanches,
Right.
wildlife encounters,
Yeah,
just navigating challenging terrain.
for sure.
So how do you make sure you're prepared and minimize those risks?
You're asking the right questions.
Yeah.
First step is knowledge.
Okay.
Research the area thoroughly, understand the hazards,
Yeah.
and be realistic about your skill level.
That's important.
And then packing the right gear is essential.
What kind of gear are we talking?
Well, avalanche safety equipment.
Okay. Layers for all kinds of weather,
Makes sense.
a well-stocked first aid kit?
So it's not just about having the latest skis or the coolest outerwear.
No.
You really need to think about functionality and safety.
Exactly.
But beyond gear, what about the people?
Yeah.
I imagine having experienced guides is super important in these environments.
Existential.
What makes a good guide?
A knowledgeable guide can make or break the trip.
I bet.
They'll assess snow conditions,
Okay.
navigate tricky terrain,
Uh-huh.
and be there if emergencies happen.
Yeah, that's important.
Plus, they'll share their knowledge about the area,
Oh, cool.
the plants, animals,
So they're not just guides.
Yeah.
They're educators,
Yeah.
protectors.
Yeah,
Okay, we've talked about the physical and logistical stuff.
we have.
But I want to go back to something we mentioned earlier,
What's that?
the cultural side of things.
Yes,
It's not just about the skiing, is it?
definitely not.
What kind of cultural encounters can skiers expect in these far-flung places? Well, imagine having a bowl of thukpa after a day of skiing in the Himalayas.
What's stupa?
It's a hearty Tibetan noodle soup.
That sounds delicious.
Or picture yourself warming up in a Japanese onsen,
Oh, wow.
a natural hot spring
Yeah.
with snow falling around you.
So peaceful.
Or maybe you're in the Argentinian Andes,
Okay.
sharing mate with gauchos.
Mate?
It's a traditional South American drink.
Oh, cool.
And you're all swapping stories about your adventures.
Those experiences sound incredible.
They are.
It's like the journey goes beyond the slopes. You're immersed in the heart of these cultures.
Exactly. You're connecting with people from different backgrounds, broadening your perspective,
Yeah.
gaining a deeper appreciation for the world.
Okay, we've covered a lot today.
We have.
But before we wrap up this part,
Yeah.
we need to talk about the environmental impact.
That's crucial.
Because we love exploring these amazing places, but we also have a responsibility to protect them.
You're right.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
Adventure tourism can benefit these communities,
Yeah.
but it also puts pressure on fragile ecosystems.
It's a tough situation.
So how can skiers minimize their impact?
That's the question.
How can we make sure we're traveling responsibly?
I think it starts with awareness.
Okay.
Educating yourself about the environmental challenges is key.
Yeah, I agree.
And then taking action.
Like what?
Choosing eco-conscious operators who prioritize sustainability.
That makes sense.
Look for accommodations that use renewable energy.
Uh-huh.
Minimize waste, pack reusable water bottles,
Okay.
avoid single-use plastics,
Good idea.
support organizations working to conserve these areas.
It's about being mindful travelers,
Exactly.
recognizing that we're guests in these incredible environments.
We have a responsibility to preserve them
Yeah.
for future generations.
Because the best adventures are the ones that leave a positive impact.
Couldn't agree more.
It's amazing how these trips can push you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's not just about the physical challenge, is it?
Not at all. It's about testing your limits in every way
Mentally and physically.
and coming back stronger and more resilient.
You discover strengths you never knew you had.
I think that's one of the best things about adventure travel.
It is.
It's not just about checking places off a list.
Right.
It's about the journey and how it changes you.
The challenges you overcome.
Yeah.
The things you learn along the way.
Those stay with you long after the trip is over.
They stick with you.
And they can affect other areas of your life, too.
Totally.
How you handle challenges back home, how you deal with uncertainty,
And how you see the world.
like you gain a fresh perspective,
Yeah.
new tools to deal with life's ups and downs.
It's powerful.
So say someone is listening to us right now,
Okay.
and they're thinking, wow, these places are amazing.
Yeah.
I want that kind of adventure,
Uh-huh.
but I don't even know where to start.
That's common.
What advice would you give them?
What would I say? Well, first, don't let fear stop you. It's easy to get caught up in the what-ifs.
Yeah,
But adventure is all about embracing the unknown.
so true.
Start by researching.
Okay.
Find destinations that match your interests and skills.
And
Connect with good operators who can help.
I'd say start small.
That's a great point.
You don't have to jump into the most extreme trip right away.
Right. Take baby steps.
There are lots of backcountry adventures that are more accessible
Definitely.
to give you a taste of remote skiing.
Without needing years of experience.
Exactly. Maybe try a guided day trip
Yeah.
or a weekend hut trip to get started.
It's about building your skills and confidence over time.
And remember, it's a journey, not a race.
So true.
Take your time, enjoy the
Be
experience.
present in every moment.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into extreme skiing,
Yeah.
I think the main thing to remember is this, Di.
What's that?
Adventure is out there for everyone,
It is.
no matter your skill level.
Or experience.
It's about finding what excites you,
Yeah.
pushing your boundaries,
Ab-
and embracing the power of exploring.
Well said.
And hey, maybe one day we'll bump into each other on a mountain slope somewhere,
I love that.
sharing stories and having new adventures together.
That would be amazing.
Until then, keep seeking those wild places.
Keep pushing those limits.
Keep exploring and sharing your stories.
I will.
And if you're looking for more inspiration to plan your own ski adventure, check out the links in the description.
We've got tons of information there.
And don't forget to subscribe for more travel hacks and weekly destination guides
We'll see you next time.
for another deep dive.